Hi everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. My name's Kate and I love makeup. Welcome to my channel. Now, today I've got something really exciting to show you because this is where my day job and my hobby meet. I'm going to show you how to do makeup for a court appearance, whether you are a lawyer, a solicitor, a barrister, a judge, a member of the jury, or even a defendant. This is a lovely, quick, stress free makeup look for you. Now, my day job is as a patent attorney, and this means that I have to spend some time in court, or at least I did before the pandemic. Now we tend to do it mostly online, but this makeup is also good for that. So I spend some time in court, but more particularly at the patent offices, defending the inventions of my company. And so this is a makeup that I wear quite a lot for work in the office and also for appearances before the patent office. It helps me feel a bit more confident and put together. And most importantly, it doesn't take too long in the morning, and it's really good if you're feeling nervous and your hands are shaking a bit before your court appearance. So for today's makeup, I'm going to be using almost exclusively cream products, apart from some setting powder. You want to set your face a bit so you don't sweat at the end. Well, you will be sweating, so it's to make sure that your makeup doesn't move around too much. Okay, so let me put my hair back and we'll get started. And if you would like to see how to do your makeup for a court appearance or for any formal occasion that doesn't require too much glam, then keep watching. And if you like it, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. It's free and it would really mean a lot to me if you could do that. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is conceal. I should tell you, I've done all of my skincare. I've got some SPF on and some eye cream. When I'm wearing SPF for sun protection, I tend not to wear a moisturizer apart from some cream under my eyes because I do have quite oily skin. If you have a dry skin, you might want to wear moisturizer underneath your SPF. Also, I'm not a fan of foundation, particularly when I'm getting ready in the morning and I just want to be quick and make my skin look nice, but not, too made up. No one has perfect skin. Don't worry about it. Just all you need to do is cover the bits that need covering. So, what I'm going to do is start with some concealer and I'm going to go in under my eyes and just put a little bit under my eyes to cover these dark circles. I do have quite dark blue, purpley kind of circles under my eyes. Not because I don't sleep, I do sleep enough. They're genetic, unfortunately, but I know lots of people do have them. And yeah, so this concealer, it's going to cover up the dark circles. It's also going to stop your mascara and other my eye makeup from running. Right. So another thing, I'm not using any brushes apart from one to set the powder. All of this is by hand, and that is the real advantage of creams. You can just slap them on, blend them in with your fingers, and you're done. So make sure I'm getting all the areas in here. You see where this vein is here, it's also very blue. So I'm gonna make sure that's all patted in. I'm, I'm also going to use the rest that's on my fingers to go into the corners here where it's a bit red. Oh, I know it's a bit red on my eyelids, but I'm not going to worry too much about that right now because we're going to cover that up with some cream eyeshadow. Okay, also I've got a couple of spots on my chin. So just going to doop, doop. There we go. Again, pat it in with my fingers. Now I know now that my skin isn't perfect, especially I do have some redness. Also got a bit of redness around my nose. So cover that up. Again, a little bit down the nose where I'm red here and just blend it in. Okay. Right, that's good enough for now. Then I'm going to set what I've done so far with the concealer with some setting powder. I've got the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless in shade 1 here. As you can see, I need to buy a new one. But I'm just going to set under my eyes so that they don't crease. Bit around my nose. Gonna leave the cheeks here free because I'm going to use some cream blusher. Bit on the forehead, between my eyebrows. And then I'm going to set my chin where I concealed those spots before. Okay, that's enough. Now for eyebrows, I can't be bothered filling in my eyebrows, especially if I'm nervous and my hand's shaking. All I'm going to do is use a brow gel to fill them in. This is Benefit Gimme Brow in shade 3. I used to use shade 4 or 5, but since I've been dyeing my hair blonde again, I've gone to a lighter shade. In fact, a lot of the time I just wear number 2, but they didn't have it at the shop this time, so I'm stuck with number 3, but I think it's okay. It makes my brows a bit darker than I would usually wear them, but you know, they still look filled in and polished. And I do actually have quite dark eyebrow hairs anyway, so it doesn't matter. But this is just the easiest thing. Get any sort of brow gel that has fibers in. You can also get really decent ones at the drugstore. I think L'Oreal and Maybelline and so on do those. Okay, so that's the eyebrows done. Now I'm going to go on to the cheeks, and I'm going to use a drugstore product here. We've got e.l.f. Putty Blush. I can't remember what colour it is, but it's a nice sort of neutral, brightish pink with a kind of rosy tone. I'm going to put I like a lot of blusher, especially creams do tend to fade throughout the day, so I'm going to put a decent amount. That's actually reading more coral pink on the camera, but I think it's nice. I like it, and you just keep patting it in. Put it quite high up on the cheeks. And I'm not going to bother with bronzer or contour because I do have quite defined cheekbones, and I have got a little bit of colour from the sun, even though I wear a strong SPF every day. But I was out at a water park yesterday with my daughter, so I did catch the sun a little bit. But yeah, so just blend that in quite high up on your cheekbones. I grew up in the 80s, so I like this really high, sort of almost draped blush. Okay, so that's it for the cheeks. If you want bronzer, contour, please feel free. I don't, so I won't. Now I'm going to move on to eyes. I'm going to be using 2 products for the eyes, both from Charlotte Tilbury, but again, you can use drugstore. I'm going to use this cream eyeshadow. It's called Eyes to Mesmerize in the shade, what is it? Oyster Pearl. So it's quite sort of neutral, taupey with a slight shimmer for the base. And then for my eyeliner, I'm going to use quite a fat crayon because, you know, if you're messing about with a fine eyeliner and you're a bit nervous, your hand's shaking, it's difficult to do the line. So we just want to get a bit of definition, and so these big crayons are ideal. Again, readily available at the drugstore if you don't want to spend too much money. But here I've got this Oyster Pearl. I'm going to take a little bit on my finger and then tap it off in the lid here because this can crease quite a bit if you put too much on at first. So I'm going to take what's on my finger. It's kind of reading like a goldish taupe on the camera. Just going to put that all over my eyelid, blend it in, and then when I've blended it there, I'm going to start blending it up into the crease a bit. And that little bit that I took on my finger is enough for one whole eye there. You see, it's even enough for me to take it up into the crease. Again, no need for brushes. Your fingers are perfect for this situation. And I'm going to take my little finger here and extend it a bit out. So we've got a kind of a, so it's lifted, it lifts the eye. You've got a quite kind of a cat eye shape almost. Then I'm going to take the excess that I tapped onto the lid here on my other finger and do the opposite eye. Again, this is more than enough actually. You can imagine how long these pots last because you really, you hardly need to use anything. So although they are quite expensive, I think they're about maybe £25 if my memory serves me correctly, or €30, then yeah, I mean they last years and years. And here in this house we don't bother about expiry dates. No. Obviously if your makeup is starting to smell and look really nasty, then you should throw it away, but otherwise don't worry. Again, I'm going to take my little finger and just extend it out to lift the eye, the cat eye. Make sure they're even on both sides. I'm going to maybe extend this one up a little more. Okay, right. So then I'm going to move on to the liner, as I told you, and I'm just going to go underneath the eye a little bit here, maybe about a third of the way along to half the way along, and blend it a bit underneath my eye, and take a little bit at the end here and wing it out. Again, this helps to lift the eye. Now, I do sometimes like to wear a liner above my eyelashes, but this is not the time for it. You know, if you're nervous, the easiest thing to do is to go under your eye and then make a little wing extending up from your lower lash line like this. And then, you know, you've still got the definition, it still looks good. Your eyes are still going to stand out from far away. You're going to look polished, but you don't have the worry of smudging and making a mess on your upper eyelid. So same again on the other eye, about a third of the way in, blend in. So yeah, it's about 2/3 of the way in, and then flick it out. You don't have to worry too much about getting it even on both sides, as long as you follow your lower lash line. No one's eyes are perfectly symmetrical anyway. Follow the lower lash line up and just lift it out a bit with your finger. I'm going to do a bit more on this side to emphasize it. Okay, that's it for the eyes except for your mascara. Here I've got a tubing mascara. This one is Hourglass Unlocked. The reason I want to wear a tubing mascara is so that it doesn't smudge or run down my face during the day. This one will stay put all day. Okay, so I'm gonna just do a couple of coats, and I don't want to have super defined lashes, but what you can do also to help with the definition of the upper eyelid, go in as tight as you can to the beginning of your lash line, and then that'll, if you look, that's made its own sort of black line above my eye, which really defines it. And then this brush is actually, it's really thin, so it lets you get right in there and make a nice, almost a tight line, if you will, on the upper lash line. Okay, other eye, first coat. Again, getting in tight to that lash line. And then you don't have to do underneath your eyes if you've got the definition from the liner there, but I like to just take the excess, go underneath for a little bit more definition. As I say, this is tubing mascara, so it's going to stay put. It's not going to run down my face during the day. Also, if you remember, I did the concealer under my eyes and set it with powder, so that's going to help with making the mascara stay put too. I'm just going to give another coat of mascara to really sort of elongate my lashes. So I've volumized and defined them at the base, but I want to make sure that they're sort of emphasized at the length. Okay, so that's the other eye. I do use Revitalash lash serum to make my lashes long, so I haven't needed to use an eyelash curler in quite some time, but you can, of course, curl your lashes before doing this if you want. Okay, so all that remains now is some lipstick. Now, there are two options you can go with for lipstick. I would go for a neutral one. This is, for example, Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, maybe a sort of neutral beige, peach, pink kind of colour. You could also, of course, go down the red lip route, which I sometimes do if I'm at the European Patent Office and I really want to appear confident and, it makes me feel ready to go. But, you know, most of the time I like to play it safe and just use a neutral lipstick. So, well, not bothering with lip liner today. Again, just in the spirit of doing everything quickly on the way out the house. And you might have already spent loads of time up late the night before preparing for your case. So there we go. That's actually reading quite peachy on camera, but it is sort of a pinky beigey taupe. Okay, so that's the finished look. I hope you like it, and please stay tuned if you would like to see more from my channel. Hopefully we'll have more videos soon, and all the best with your court appearance. Good luck. Bye.